today, so I'm just getting back into things after a bit of illness. Yeah, I had COVID last week, so I had 10 days where I literally couldn't do anything, because I was in isolation, but also I just wasn't feeling well.
So go hip flex and stretch, sit back, sit through, kind of squeeze it tight. Yeah, stay on that side. Keep going on now. Good, kind of flow.
Didn't realise we were so arguing. It was just like, I was not sure I had it initially because I just felt really tired, and I had done 8 hours of riding that weekend in a year in the wind after a night out. So I was, after New Year's night out. So I thought I was just tired, to be honest. But yeah, it turned out I was coming down with it. So the first couple of days I was just really fatigued, and then after that, did start to get some kind of different symptoms. I felt really nauseous actually, and just headaches and just a bit flu-like. So I think it forced me to have, David said that the whole time that he's known me, he's never known me to have like that kind of time off other than end of season. So just took it really easy and just built back quite slowly, to be honest. So during my isolation, David, who's never on his phone, was constantly looking at his phone and texting my sister. I was like, what is going on? Why all of a sudden are you messaging Sarah all the time? But they were planning my surprise 30th birthday. So my 30th birthday was a couple of weeks ago, but over Christmas and everything else, and then COVID, so it was planned for last night, and it was really nice actually. It was a lot of triathletes and the runners were there in Fika. So 3 of my favourite things: Fika, Calcio Pizza, so all my mates. So it was good. This morning had an easy swim, so we did some just upper body stuff on a Friday. We do lots of pool, paddles, a bit of steady swimming, and then just a reintroduction to the gym again. So I only did 2 sets and not that heavy weight, just because I'm still a bit bunged up and stuff, so missed a bit of gym stuff. So we're just kind of building this week and then be good to go by Monday. Just focusing on the bike. So I'm gonna try and get back to the kind of volume I was at before I got ill. So I'll do some longer rides this weekend with a bit of pace and a grip. The weather's meant to be nice, so yeah, hopefully just kind of try and get back to where I was, because I was in quite a good place before I got ill by the end of January. And then I'm off to Spain with the squad. Bronwyn's coming as well, so there'll be a couple of girls as well to train with. And yeah, it's really good out there for riding. I've been before, so kind of around Calpe and just north of Benidorm. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting away for some winter sun. Just the riding, it's really good. I like just the hills and descending and a bit nicer weather. It helps break up the winter a little bit. I was planning on racing the first week in February, but I think I'd still go okay, but I just don't want to put the pressure on myself and rush anything. I have been pretty ill with this, so just look to do a bigger block of training and then, I don't know, maybe Super League. January was been pretty full on actually. I had the full, hog actually in quarantine. And then I did a kind of reintroduction back into guided by the doctor at British Tri. And then I just cracked on that weekend really, straight back into a big cycling weekend. So Buckton run on the Saturday, and then I actually doubled up with a reliability rides on the Sunday. For those that don't know what that is, Buckton Run is basically you ride out to, it's called Buckton Run because you ride to Buckton, and then on the way back it is a bit of a free-for-all. But basically the whole point of it is to just kind of get stuck in with a group of cyclists and just feel more comfortable on the wheel in a big group. So that's what I'm doing it for, and just a bit of kind of race experience. And the same with reliability ride, just getting that race experience at this time of year with lots of wheels around me. And just trying to feel more comfortable in that environment. It's called reliability because you're supposed to test the reliability of your bike and your legs. It's not just in Yorkshire you have these, it's all over the country. It's just the ones in Yorkshire are quite hard. I've done 4 or 5 of them now. They're on the Sundays. A bit of a bike focus, to be honest. So obviously with putting in a bit more riding, something had to give, and I think it's fair to say that running could take that hit for a little bit of time. So I am just doing one run session in the week at the moment on a Tuesday with a little bit bigger volume, but I'm not too worried about losing that run speed. I went from just running to triathlon, so I'm doing a lot less running anyway, and it's got better, so I have high hope. Just focusing on the riding and the swimming at the moment, because that is what will unlock a triathlon, like a podium for me. Yeah, so swimming has just been very much the same. We have started increase. We were doing threshold before Christmas, but we're now back up to full volume on both VO2 and threshold. So yeah, it was quite a rude awakening having. I only had about a month of training before Christmas because I had a late end of season break, and then coming back from Christmas having COVID and then jumping straight back into a full programme. Obviously don't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone if you feel okay. It's very personal how you come back from COVID, so luckily it was okay for me. Run mileage isn't really taking a hit, it's more just we've had to back off on the intensity side of things just because we're putting another stimulus in with the biking, so we've had to just take that back a notch. Start of February I stayed in England, and then just as I was leaving, the weather was starting to turn not so nice and I was coming to Spain anyway, so luckily January was pretty nice with good weather and fairly mild for January. So yeah, I'm back out in Spain with the rest of my squad, training in just north of Alicante. We got really good access to like the mountains, and it's really nice. It's been good fun so far. 1 week down and another week here, and then back to Leeds for the last week of Feb. I actually had a bit of an easier week last week on the kind of volume side of things while I was back home, which tied in well with the weather not being so great. And then yeah, since I've been out here, kind of doing the same program as we were doing at home, obviously a little bit more riding while we're here, and the weather's nice, and got lots of boys to train with, so that's been good. I actually brought my friend Bron out as well, so she's one of the girls I run with. So she's here, and we've got some other runners coming next week who I've been told are all doing my session on the track, so sorry in advance to the long tempo on Tuesday, but I've got some company. Oh, the track's nice, yeah. It's we've got this cool like Astro turf bit around the outside of the track, which is, I wasn't sure I was gonna like that, because we usually do tempo on the track. It's a funny one to say. When I did it in Leeds the other week, it got a bit monotonous 3 miles, and also it was so windy that it was really difficult to run even pace, and I actually got blown off the track and ended up flat on my face. So it was nice here the other night. The wind had dropped in the evening, and you got some nice things to look at around the track as well, like the mountains. And it's the AstroTurf, so it was quite soft on your legs. So we did that, and then I jumped onto the track to do some reps, and then back on the turf to do another tempo. Got my new one, not been ridden outside before. It's very pretty, Factor 1. So it's the Aero one. Yeah, it's just very nice. It rides very well. Yeah, I really like riding it. Yeah, it's cool. It's got like a hollow top tube as well. It's quite cool. But I actually have another Austro coming for the summer, and another couple of bikes coming for. Well, last year I had like in my head that I was going to race on the one, and then the Austro came first. So I ended up racing on the Austro, and I really got attached to that bike. So I don't know. I think I'll do a bit of both. I guess it depends on what the course is like. Obviously the one is a very aero bike, and the Austro is more for like, climbing and like maybe hilly and undulating. So yeah, I guess there's, pros and cons for both.